Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports.
Hey, it's Tito here with the Buckeye Bliss. Thank you for tuning in. We are on FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Sports Media. FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media. I'm Jeff Fedoff. They call me Tito. Follow me on Twitter. And it happens. There it is, right there. Yeah, the Band-Aid. I got a cut. Whatever. It's a kid's Band-Aid, too. If you got kids, you wear kids' Band-Aids. Sometimes it happens. Thank you for tuning in. Like, listen, subscribe, all that stuff. We are 20 Saturdays away from Ohio State at Indiana to open the season in Bloomington against the Hoosiers. Open the season, open the Big Ten season, all of that for Ohio State. And a couple things going on, but let's do this first. Let's talk about this. And I got this from the Columbus Dispatch, dispatch.com. If you don't go there, subscribe to them, but the newspaper. But there's been some talk about between Michigan and Ohio State's 2024 recruiting class that the offensive lineman has to beat, which I love. I love it when Ohio State and Michigan's rivalry really means something. The last 2 years, Michigan's won. Before that, Ohio State had such a long, successful run against Michigan that was better than the Michigan run against John Cooper. So just to show you how great that run, Urban Meyer went 7-0 against Michigan, came out and famously said recently, I guess it's too early to say famous, but notably said that he hired a coach to do nothing but watch Michigan. He said that recently, and I love that. I love it when the rivalry means something. And by the way, every year when I'm on the Fan, I do stuff for 97.1 The Fan, ESPN affiliate here in Columbus. But I always say, and this pisses Buckeye fans off, some of them, that if Michigan never wins in the rivalry will die. It will die. If Ohio State wins every single year, 100-0, like some Buckeye fans want, the rivalry dies. Each team has to win sometimes. I'm not saying I want Michigan win every year, but Michigan needs to win at least once in a while, because if Ohio State dominates, then the rivalry means nothing. And I love what the rivalry means. So, Michigan's won the last 2 years. That makes this game even bigger this year for Ohio State and Michigan, and it makes the recruiting wars more fun. And so the 2024 recruiting class, the offensive linemen are jawing back and forth. Ohio State's guys say, we're the better class. Michigan says, no, we're the better class. Ohio State saying, yeah, but your guys wanted to come to Ohio State, didn't get offers. Michigan saying the same thing back and forth. And look, I don't know what the ultimate correct answer is, and we won't know. It's the 2024 recruiting class. We don't know what's going to happen. But I love the fact they're going back and forth. That means something. Michigan's 2024 offensive line commitments, and this is, again, according to what's on the dispatch.com, they put that out there, the Columbus Dispatch. They've got Andrew Sprague, who's the number 9 offensive tackle, Blake Frazier, the number 17 offensive tackle in the rankings, according to 24/7 composite rankings. Sprague, number 9, Blake Frazier, number 17, Luke Hamilton, number 23, interior offensive line, and Ben Roebuck, who was number 29 offensive tackle. Offensive tackles, 9, 17, 29. Interior offensive line, 23. That's what they've got. On Ohio State's, they've got Ian Moore, number 5 interior offensive line ranking. They've got Deontay Armstrong, number 25 offensive tackle. Devontae Armstrong, his twin brother, number 22 interior offensive line. And Mark Nave, number 36 interior offensive line. So we won't know until we get well into the season, their careers even, who really got the better end of this. But I love the fact that it's sitting here, not even end of April, I guess we're at the back end of April, second half of April, and we have offensive linemen from the 2024 class from Michigan and Ohio State. The classes arguing about who got the better offensive line class. 2024 class, not 2023. 2024. I love it. Give me all the Ohio State-Michigan love and hate you can. Give me all the rivalry stuff. I can't wait to watch all this unfold. And look, Michigan winning the last 2 years sucks as an Ohio State fan. Sucks as an Ohio State fan. You know what, though? It's good for the rivalry. Batman needs a Joker. Michigan is Ohio State's Joker. They've got to win once in a while, or have some damage once in a while to make all this work. All right, let's go to college basketball now. The 2023 recruiting classes. Kentucky, according to ESPN.com, has the top class. No surprise there. And by the way, Hutchinson from Michigan is going to make a visit to Kentucky in person. He's also talked to Kansas, and we'll see what Hutchinson ends up doing. But Kentucky right now has the top recruiting class in the country, the men's basketball side for 2023. Duke is second. Going through the rankings now. Third, by the way, because Ohio State has dropped a little bit, but third is UConn. Fourth is Michigan State. Making the national championship, winning the national championship, I should say. Michigan State is currently fourth. And going through list number 5 is Memphis under Penny Hardaway. And Penny Hardaway keeps getting great talent. Hasn't put it all together yet into like a really successful NCAA tournament run. But he is doing well recruiting-wise. I'm a Penny Hardaway fan. Number 6, Oregon Ducks. And that could get better if they get Bronny James. We're still waiting to see where Bronny James goes. Number 7 is Louisville. Kenny Payne's doing a great job there, picking up the pieces of the debacle that's happened to Louisville the last couple of years. Ohio State is right now 8th with their top commit is Scotty Middleton, who is number 34. I don't expect Bronny James to come to Ohio State. I think he will end up inevitably going to USC or going the pro route, but still a top 10 class again, the second straight year for Chris Holtman to have a top 10 class in recruiting if this all holds true. And like I said, I don't think Bronny James comes here. I think Bronny James is bound for the USC or for a G League type thing. But so I think USC could move up considerably in the rankings if they get Bronny, which is a very real possibility. But Ohio State being 8th is really a big deal. I like that. Okay, other news from Ohio State men's basketball. What I love about college basketball versus college football is the way the schedules are made up in a lot shorter term. In football, you go right now and look, and all the games might not happen, but you get teams that have schedules that are made out. Look at Notre Dame's schedule. I think their schedule's out for like the next 10 years or whatever, which could move around based on conference realignment, but their schedule is set pretty much the next 10 years in football. Ohio State's got some of their opponents set. They've got, obviously they're at Notre Dame this year. They've got Texas coming up, a home and home, Alabama, a home and home, Georgia, a home and home. I think Oregon's a home and home now, but I know they've got Alabama and Georgia coming up along with Texas and finishing up the Notre Dame one. But all these are scheduled years in advance. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. There's been times at Ohio State, I remember a while back, I think they put Cal on their schedule and then years in advance, and then Cal sucked and it wasn't such a great game. But Ohio State basketball, because they do the schedules a little more in line with, a little closer to the regular season being started, they just announced that on December 30th, they're going to play West Virginia in a neutral site game up at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland. So December 30th, Ohio State, West Virginia neutral site game. The last time they played was back in 2019 up there. They played there as well. And West Virginia won 67-59. So Bob Huggins in West Virginia, they went 19-15 last year. They made the NCAA tournament. NCAA tournament was a 9 seed, but lost in the first round to Maryland. So it's, but let me tell you why this could be a big game for Ohio State. Huggins, one of the great all-time coaches, over 900 wins, and through Cincinnati, primarily Cincinnati and West Virginia. One NCAA tournament game since then. Seth Davis does a Q&A on The Athletic. Athletic, by the way, great place to get your sports news. Go there and subscribe if you want to, but also they have a fantastic stable of writers, including Seth Davis being one of them. He was asked, when will Huggins step down at West Virginia? And he talked to Huggins, and Huggins, who's almost 70 years old, was saying, he's having fun doing it right now, and he should. This team coming back, 19-15 last year, they do lose 3 of their top 5 scorers, but 2 of them come back, which is great. They also added Jesse Edwards, who's a 6'11 kid from Syracuse. He's got 1 year left. He averaged 13.4 points, 8.7 rebounds, almost 3 blocks over the last 2 seasons while playing for the Orange. And they also had Kerr Krissa, a senior point guard from Arizona who started the last 2 seasons there. Those 2 guys are on board with, like I say, a couple of guys coming back in for West Virginia in Trey Mitchell and Joe Toussaint. But what's good about this game for Ohio State is this could end up being a quadrant 1 win for them if they can get a victory over West Virginia. Ohio State's had top 10 recruiting classes last year, this year. So Ohio State's going to have plenty of talent. And we're going to see, again, Bryce Sensabaugh, he's gone. It's going to happen. He will not be back, I don't believe, next year. I think that he will be a definite first-round pick in the NBA draft, so he will be gone. But Ohio State, though, has a lot of talent coming back. The freshmen played really well coming down the stretch last year, the ones they needed. Zed Key coming back healthy will be great. The guys Ohio State is adding, I want you to think about this now, with the people they are adding in on this team, they're bringing another post player in. And Felix Akpara for Ohio State got a lot of valuable minutes down the stretch because of the injury to Zed Key. Injury sucked for Zed Key. It was good for Felix Akpara. But now you've got, Akpara and Zed Key, a couple of big-time post players. Now, Akpara needs to work on his offensive game. He's a defensive force who forces team players to adjust shots. I love that about him. They're adding in Scotty Middleton, Tayson Chapman, Devin Royal. All three of those are top 50 players. And Austin Parks is the other one they're adding in, is 6'10 kid. And so they're going to have more size next year than they had this past year. Inexperience? Yes, but more size, which is good. Akpara, I'm telling you, I love this kid. Still a raw basketball talent, but the kid got better this year as the year went on, which I love. And having healthy Zed Key with all these other guys that are coming back, well, I'm excited about this Ohio State basketball team for this upcoming season. I know that Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology has the Ohio State men as like a 8, 9, maybe a 10 seed even. Somewhere in there like is the latest one. He doesn't have them seeded very highly. But I think Ohio State's got great potential to grow as the season goes on. And I think they're going to be a Sweet 16 team in 2024 in the NCAA tournament after the 23-24 season. Now, the women's bracketology just came out by Charlie Cream, or Krem, I think is how you pronounce it, for ESPN. He has Ohio State women as a 2 seed. They're going to be a 1 or a 2. This Ohio State women's basketball team under Kevin McGuff, who's now been there 10 years, it is that good. All right, that's it for today's Buckeye Blitz right here on FanStream Sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Listen, like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. And again, go Bucks, and we will talk again tomorrow. Have a great day.